Good morning, everyone. It's Fiona from the Facebook page Angelic Inspiration. I hope this recording finds you well. So it's the 6th of February already. Can't believe how quickly this year's already going. I hope you're all starting to enjoy February, and I know January was quite turbulent for quite a lot of people. I think after the 3rd of February that should settle in some ways, and people should feel a lot calmer and a lot happier within themselves, or they're still going through some emotional turmoil, but there's solutions in sight. That's the one important thing, is to always focus on solving issues. Don't focus on how bad the situation is, focus on making it better. The more you focus on making things right and better and positive, the easier they are to handle, and the sooner those dark days will pass. Which now I'm going to just see what the cards have got to say for today. As you can tell, I don't or haven't pulled one already. I'm going to pull one whilst I'm talking to you guys and shuffle away to myself. So here goes. What does Angelic Inspiration need to know this week? And then I'll stop, and then I'll just run my thumb across the top and see where it stops. Pull it out, and here we go. Goddess of Psychic Protection. What you believe, you create. No one can harm you. There you go. See what the meaning of the whole card is. Goddess of Psychic Protection. Sorry, it's taken a while to find this card. It's a nice card. Well, it's blue and purple, and the colours that you imagine for protection. Purple, blue, Archangel Michael, Archangel Zadkiel, yeah, and there's nice white and stuff in this card. So the Goddess of Psychic Protection. What you believe, you create. You subconsciously believe that someone is energetically trying to cause negativity in your life. You have drawn this card today to remind you that the life force or energy at the heart of every living thing is in essence love. Each individual soul forms part of a universal soul. All is energetically connected through the light of love. No one can physically harm you, possess you, or influence you unless you believe they can. What you believe, you create. You do not need to protect yourself from others as much as you need to protect yourself from your own negative belief and fear. To dissolve these beliefs and fears, all you need to do is focus on the light and love within and around you, and within and around every living thing. Imagine pure white light surrounding you each and every moment of your life. You know you are always protected and forever within God's light. Focus on the image of the goddess whose face appears in this card. Feel the love, light and wisdom emanating from her. Know that she merely reflects the infinite love and light and wisdom within you. There you go. So I know that a lot of people are worried about what other people think and what other people say and what other people do, but that should never ever reflect or impede or have an impact on your life. When you let go of the attachments to what other people think and say about you, you free yourself up to, be yourself more. And you cannot please everybody in life. You really can't. And if you let people dominate your life by their thoughts and reactions, then you're not living your life. Of course, you have to be respectful and mindful of the feelings of the people that you are closest to and your family and friends, but you also have to weigh up, who are you living the life for, your family and friends, or for yourself? And surely the people that matter will find a way of letting go of their judgments towards you and whatever decisions that you're making. because you only have this one life that you can remember, and if you don't make sure that you live it, then you know, when you get older, you'll be sad and find that you should have taken a left when you took a right, and stuff. But always speak to the angels about your worries and fears and how you feel about other people feeling about yourself. And sometimes you can hide behind other people and what other people are saying and doing and thinking, as to not act or react. So what we're going to do today is speak to the angels. Dear angels, help me release all fear and frustration that I hold towards myself, which are holding me back from living the life I'm meant to live. Okay? So also think about, with that, what do you actually want to achieve? Do you want to become closer to the angels? Do you want to be really popular, or do you want to be liked, or do you want to go on holiday somewhere fancy? Do you want to change jobs? You know, make a list. What do I want? Even entitle it my what do I want list, and start from the top. What's the main thing that you want that's going to make you happy, or what you believe will make you happy? Because a lot of the time we have an idea of what will make us happy, and actually it's not that will make us happy at all. That's just our brain detracting from more important things. So really, I think it's also important to breathe and reconnect. So you don't have to spend hours and hours meditating. You don't have to do guided meditations. None of these things are essential, but I do think connecting to yourself, reconnecting to your source, is important. And I think that if you sit down and think about it, just maybe, you know, touching your neck with your hand and breathing, or just feeling the energy, or just letting your hand run around your face and just reconnecting in that way, or the hand at the back of the neck or the crown of the head and just pushing backwards on it, and see how that feels. You know, you don't have to be in a deep meditation to feel connected to yourself, and I don't mean that in a weird way. I mean from the source, from the core. And also call in, who do you want with you while you're connecting to yourself? Do you want the angels with you? Do you want God with you? Do you want your deceased loved ones with you? Who do you feel most comfortable talking to? And then when you talk to them, ask them for signs. So when you ask for signs, you say, dear angels, please show me a sign, or dear Auntie Margaret, please show me a sign that you've heard me. And the sign will come in a form of a rainbow or a butterfly, or a message through on the radio that resonates with you, or on the television, or a conversation that you've heard in passing. And you might find some coins. You know, there's so many ways that the angels and deceased loved ones show us that they're listening to us, and willing us on to connect to ourselves, to connect to hearing them, but also to hearing our inner guidance, not relying on too much on what other people have got to say. I also find that through running Angelic Inspiration, I see so many people that go from one page to another page, and this is your personal decision. You know, it's up to you what you do. But from a perspective of somebody who just sees these people hopping from one page to another in hopes of getting a free card. And it's almost painful, because yes, you're looking for guidance, and yes, you want to know what's happening, but you don't need to rely on someone else pulling a card for you, and hanging around waiting for the free cards to fall. Buy your own angel card deck or your tarot card deck, or really just buy yourself a meditation, or find a way, or a CD with relaxing music, and just relax and speak to the angels, speak to God, speak to your deceased loved ones, and ask them to bring you the calm that you are lacking, and they will. you don't need to hang around waiting for people to pull free cards for you. If you want an angel card reading, or you want a tarot reading or a medium reading, you'll find a medium or a tarot card reader or whoever to read your cards. And yes, a lot of people charge money for these things, but they have to make a living too. My point though is that any card reader worth their salt or intuitive will not read you every day. They won't read you if you've recently had a reading, because it's unhealthy to constantly look to people to give you the answers that you want to hear, and getting upset if you don't hear them, and then finding the answer, trying to get the answer again and again and again. Just reconnect to yourself. Really, that's where the answers are. They are inside of you. And tarot cards, angel cards, intuitive readings, medium readings, they're all an added bonus. But if you really, really want one, you'll be prepared to go to your local area and find people, or on the internet. There's so many people, but really just stop hunting for free cards, because, you know, it's a much, 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 much more better if you just connect to yourself. Really, it is. And what else is there that we can talk about today? Or you could also just get yourself a nice crystal that you find relaxing. And the angels also say that for people who spend a lot of time on the computer, the reason that they're feeling down is because they're not taking enough time to regenerate themselves, not taking enough time to re-energize themselves. So it's kind of like finishing work, coming home, getting on the computer, spending hours and hours on Facebook, not taking time away and just relaxing and rejuvenating. And you think that you're relaxing by Facebooking or playing Facebook games, or even just games in general. You're not. Just relaxing means giving yourself 5 minutes a day. So maybe, guys from Angelic Inspiration, if you're listening to this, take 5 minutes, take a nice song, whatever song that resonates with you, that's calming and relaxing for you, and just sit down and breathe to it. Or breathing is a very, very important part of the process. You don't need to meditate to breathe in, breathe out. You can just do that and just find how more in tune you are with yourselves. And I'm really pleased with myself, because come tomorrow morning when I wake up, I'll have been smoke free for 5 weeks now. That was quite difficult. Initially I did use patches, and yesterday my patch fell off at 11 a.m. And I haven't put one back on yet. I'm not quite as delirious as I was last time I took the patch off, so let's see how we go. If I go another 24 hours without the patch, then my body is actually nicotine free. I don't need the nicotine. So I'm speaking to the angels, speaking to Archangel Zadkiel, and asking them to help me make it through the 24 hours, because I'm not really happy that I have used the patch, because I just think it's relying on cigarettes and relying on something else. But sometimes you do need that crutch just to get to that point where you can let it go. The other thing I wanted to talk about is healing. Always feel for the trust of the angels and the trust in yourself, and you'll be led to the people that are right for you. What I also have noticed, though, that there is an overload of trust when it comes to adding people on your Facebook pages, and you're just inviting them into your whole life. And I know with spirituality we're supposed to be open and everything, but don't be foolish with it either, though. Be careful who you're adding to your Facebook pages, and what information you put out to those people. Facebook has got lists and so on. Make sure you categorize people in lists. Or don't, if you don't want people to know stuff, don't post it. As simple as that. What else have we got to talk about? So let's talk about Archangel Raphael, because he's the angel of healing. I always know that he is around when I have greens and purples and golds. For me, those are the colours that represent that he's close by to me, and I find that very helpful to know. Well, obviously if you do a lot of healing and you like healing and helping other people, then you'll find that you have a good strong connection to him, and he'll be around you more often than not. But sometimes even the healer needs healing, and I've had some phenomenal healing the other day off a lady called Jules Ward, and she was absolutely brilliant. And even though it was done distantly, I could feel a huge block being cleared from the back of my neck. It was just like, I don't know, imagine taking an ice pick to a block of ice and just having a chunk of that removed, and it was just really phenomenal and so peaceful as well. And I could tell that the build up prior to that healing and post that healing were all interconnected and interlinked. And I just think that it is amazing if you premeditate a healing session, that things will fall into place and things will start shifting about prior and post the healing. So it's all synchronized. So synchronicity, somebody asked me about that. What is synchronicity? When one thing leads to another, basically, that divine timing. I don't know, you decide that you're going to have healing on Monday, come, and you've kind of laid a sort of guideline to what you want to be healed from. Like me, I said I'd like to work more on some anger issues, and there you go. Something happened the week before where I got really angry with somebody for letting me down, and they really did let me down, and I let them know, and in turn they let me know that they were not impressed with me for certain things, and I had to deal with that. And for me, I think the hardest thing was being accused of potentially putting someone in danger by asking them to get into a taxi in the dark. And for me, that was just outrageous that might be considered wrong, to ask somebody to get into a taxi after dark, because I've done it many times, and most of my friends have done it many times, gotten into taxis because there's no transport available. And for me, that was amazingly traumatic to be the whole implication of how could you ask me to do that, where for me that would be like, you know what, if I'd have stuffed up certain arrangements and there was no transport home after the bus, I would get into a taxi. I wouldn't even, I'd just pre-book it, and then I'd get into this taxi that would be there waiting for me. And you know, unless I'm somewhere in a country that I don't trust the taxi drivers and don't, you know that they're registered and so on, I wouldn't get in a taxi, obviously. But it was a whole thing about being accused of trying to put someone in danger when I'd never ever do that to a friend. And I had to deal with that, and I'm sure that, you know, there's sort of things that you've been accused of or people have implied, and it's the way that we react to those things, that's what our responsibility is. So having to deal with that, going through the healing and the whole process, and having to think about why did that offend me so much, and coming up with the answers, and knowing why that made me feel so angry and hurt, and just letting it go, sending it out to the heavens and asking the angels to deal with that for me, or not do it for me, because I do think that's a little bit lazy. Just go, you know, here you go, here's my problems and you'll sort that for me. Of course they will, but we have to put the effort in ourselves as well. We have to listen to the divine guidance, we have to follow it, we have to you know, if it means we have to move from A to B, we've got to move from A to B. If it means we have to let old friends go, we have to let them go to make room for new friends. And that's about raising the vibration. It's about changing. When you raise the vibration, you move up a level, and some people don't move at the same pace, and they can't resonate with who you are, and you can't, and keeping in that flow, you'll be held back by them. So you need to move on, let go, and take that leap of faith, that step that needs to be taken. That doesn't mean that you'll never speak to them again. It's a bit like having a soulmate. Sometimes they come and go, and sometimes they stay, and sometimes they just turn up for a short period of time and spend time with you just to change things, to take you to that next level, and then they disappear again. So just remember that with life, everything's flowing all the time. It's always moving, always shifting, always taking you forward and backward. So what I really want to do here is just look at, talking of soulmates, some soulmate cards. So put my left hand on top and just breathe and close my eyes and pull a card. And it says, positive and loving thoughts are instrumental in creating positive and loving relationships. Fear and doubt only serve to create greater uncertainty. Think more about what is right in your relationship and less on what you think is wrong with it. Okay? That's the other thing, is knowing when to think good things and when to think bad things. If you dominate your life with negative thought, then negative thought will rule it. If you have a relationship and you constantly worry about the other person cheating, you are willing them to cheat or willing them to be taken away. If you are constantly accusing someone of cheating, you're basically asking them to cheat. So basically what you need to do is be kind to yourself and let go of the fears. Call in Archangel Michael, call in Archangel Raphael, call in Archangel Shamuel to help you cut away those negative thoughts. Never ever punish a person for something someone else did. And it's really difficult to achieve that, I know. Kindness, a kind gesture rekindles your belief in the power of love. Remember to be kind to yourself. So you have to be kind to yourself. By creating space to be worried and fearful, you are not helping yourself live a healthful and happy life. Focus on all the good things and focus on all the positive changes. It's really, really important that you do that. And I think with the imbalance, I'm going to choose a little poem of something that's supposedly going to be in line with what I've just said. If you trace the creation back to its source, it would lead you to a point of light, a point that exists inside your heart and in the heart of every living thing. An omnipresence that is here, there, and everywhere. One that is always present, even in the past and in the future. Okay? So there's a beautiful light that shines, and it's always, always shining, even in good and bad times. This light is always present. So will you remember, no matter what is going on in your life, good, bad, ugly, happy, enthralling, my cat's playing, enthralling, whatever the matter is, whatever is going on, there is always that light, that divine source of light that shines way beyond any darkness, way beyond any sadness. And all you have to do is locate it. Every time you feel sad, find something that will relight the fire. Not even relight it, because it's already lit. You just need to refocus that it's there and it's ready for you, and all you have to do is embrace it, hold it, and keep it going, and share it with other people. Don't let what someone else has done stop you from engaging with other people and finding happiness with other people and enjoying life. And if it means that you need to move to achieve that happiness, move. If it means, and you know, you might sit there and think it's easy for me to say, if you ask for the monies and everything to be available to you, that it will be made available. None of these things are impossible. If you're meant to do something, you will be put in a position to do it. Your job is to communicate with the angels and with the angels and the divine and your deceased loved ones to make it happen. But you mustn't be negative about it. You must keep positive and happy. Anyway, I hope you've made some sense of my blurbs today. If it's been a bit disjointed, it's probably the lack of nicotine that the patches are giving me right now. But hopefully Angel News 3 will be much better. Until we speak again, have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead, and Always remember, keep your thoughts positive. Keep your emotions as positive as possible. If you need to give in to negativity, set yourself a timer and say, right, I'm giving myself 30 minutes of negativity where you can curse and you can be angry and you can be cross and you can growl at the mirror. And then after 30 minutes, you have to come back down again and go, and calm. Okay? See you next week. Bye.